Hi there, welcome to Floating in Books. Today we're going to be doing another makeup meets bookish world video because we're talking about my favorite lipsticks that goes with all the heroines in our favorite stories. Welcome to everybody watching today. Thank you so very much for joining me. I am doing another makeup-y video on my book channel this week. A couple of weeks ago, I came on here to show you some of my favorite lipsticks that I associate with villainous characters in books. And I asked in that video if people would like to see me do this for the heroes of our stories as well. And everybody said yes. So that's why we're coming on here, and I've got 10 lipsticks here for you today that I think go really well with the heroes and heroines of all of the stories that we love. I'm not really linking it to any particular characters for sure, but these are the colors in my lipstick collection that I associate with heroes and like the good guys in our stories. In case you don't know, by the way, I also have a makeup channel, which is why I'm saying like this video marries two of my interests. So if you want to see more makeup-y related videos, then you can over on my main channel, which is Floating in Dreams. Shameless plug, I know. So first things first, we need to talk about a classic red. In my villainous video, I definitely featured some reds there as well, because I think, you know, reds are instantly pretty vampy, and they are very much, I think, associated with like the femme fatale kind of characters that we get in a lot of stories. But I think main character good guy level is like the bright, classic blue-toned red that we see as Snow White wear. You know, that sort of level of characterization. That's what I'm talking about. So a classic red, take your pick. Every brand sells them. This one is by Lisa Eldridge. It's Velvet Ribbon, which is one of my favorite all-time reds because it's got the strongest blue tone I have ever found. If Lisa Eldridge is unavailable to you or too expensive, KIKO does a very good dupe for it. So I'll make sure to link my KIKO MILANO lipstick review that I did earlier in the year down below, where I'm actually comparing and contrasting some of the Lisa Eldridge lipsticks that I thought were very similar. So I'll refer you to that. So let me show you this. And here is Velvet Ribbon, and I love what a red does for me. I'm not necessarily wearing the right makeup look today, and I don't feel the red goes with the dress, but in terms of like my hair color, the darker brows, the darker eyes, the pale skin, I feel that a red just really makes it pop. So if I want to transform myself into the main character, I always go for a red. Like whenever I go to like a party, but also to work, like if I want to feel that sort of like amped up version of myself, a red does it every single time. It looks stunning on me. I prefer reds over nudes on myself any day of the week, and I think you can see why. Makes your teeth look whiter too. Now, if you know anything about me and lipstick videos, then you know that I usually leave the more intense things till the end, but I actually kicked us off with the most intense thing because everything else I have for you is like pinky or nude, because if I was going through my lipstick collection and looking for lipsticks I could feature in this video, it's like, you know, pinks and nudes. That's what I assume most of our main characters would wear. So I've got two more Lisa Eldridge lipsticks here, and I think a very good main character level sort of like heroine, like sort of like the more sweet heroine that we find in some stories, will go with something like Rosy Shell. So let me pop this one on. So this is what Rosy Shell looks like, and it already goes a little bit better with the vibe of the overall look I've got going on today. Rosy Shell is a luxuriously Lucent. It's the more hydrating formula. The Velvet Ribbon one is from the Velvet range, which is a bit more pigmented and they're matte. So I just feel that this has a little bit of glow. It looks a little sweeter, a little bit more girly, and it's got a blue undertone as well. And a lot of pinks on the market can be quite warm toned, so I love that this one has that sort of sweetness to it that I like, but without it pulling overly Barbie pink, which, you know, that's a shade in itself, like Barbie pinks. But this is, you know, it gives you Barbie, but not too much. Actually, from the same line, I have another shade. This is Rose Officiel, and this is that warmer tone rose. So if you have a warmer undertone, then something like this might work. So on me, this is almost like My Lips but better kind of vibes. It's a little bit more warm toned, a little bit more pink, but it's got a really nice mix, which is why I love the Lisa Eldridge lipstick range for sure. Rose Officiel is not necessarily my favorite shade of myself, but I think it can work really well with a lot of different looks. In terms of like giving main character energy, I'm really assuming that this is something that, you know, those effortless characters wear. In a lot of stories, we get a lot of heroines who like are this effortless chic that, you know, they don't really have to put in a lot of effort to look very pulled together, and I think this lipstick definitely translates into that. One more matte from Lisa Eldridge. This is Velvet Beauty. This is, again, a little bit more of a cooler undertone as well, and I think this is like, you know, your sweet, grandmothery type characters that we get in a lot of stories. You know, the wise woman in the world of lipstick would be this one. Ooh, it broke. No, it broke off. I think I managed to fix it, but it broke off as I was putting it on. That's not a good thing. I'm gonna have to contact customer services. So Velvet Beauty, I feel, is like the more grown-up version, like something like Rosy Shell. It just is. It's still giving you the cool toneness, but it's less Barbie and just a little bit more grown up. So it's for all those, you know, the maternal types that we get in our good guy stories. They're the ones that are telling our characters, you should do this, you should go for this quest, you should embark on this, and it's going to be a good decision. That's the vibe this lipstick is giving. More in that maternal grandmother type vibe, old wise woman, but I think the older version of that, you know, the kind witch in the woods kind of vibes, goes to Gucci's Mildred Rosewood in the satin formula. So this is what Mildred Rosewood looks like, and it's just, you know, it's a wood in a lipstick. So that's why I think, you know, the old lady in the cabin who is like the wise woman where you go on a quest and she's gonna help you with whatever you need to order in order to advance. It's that sort of vibe. I wear this mainly in the fall season though. It's not very summery at all. But Wedding Bells by Charlotte Tilbury is gonna give us heroine vibes as well. Maybe because of the name, Wedding Bells, this very much I associate with, like, you know, weddings and like the festive things that we see in our books. This is the kind of lipsticks that I can imagine characters wearing to a ball. Like, I just finished reading the Mistborn trilogy a couple of months ago, and I imagine Vin wearing this to one of the balls she attends in the first book. So that's what Wedding Bells looks like. A little bit of peach, a little bit of warmth, but also a bit of rosiness. It's got that really nice blend of things, and it actually goes really nicely with the green dress I'm wearing today. So happy about that. But like I mentioned, this is, you know that neutral sort of look, smoky eye, and you're ready to party. More nudes. This is actually a fresh one. I haven't worn it since I repurchased it, but it's Max Twig. It's one of my favorite all-time nudes, and I think this is like, you know, when some of the characters that in fairy tales like go into the wood to, like, you know, run away from things, and like they're very like the unassuming character that nobody knows yet. Before they've had their major transformation, this is the kind of lipstick that goes with that phase in the story, I feel. So Max Twig is one of the best nudes ever. So the thing I love about Max Twig is how it's got enough warmth but also a bit of cool toneness. I've also owned Brave and Mare in the past, and those are some of my favorites as well, but those are a bit more cool tone. Mare is more of a mauve, and Brave is a bit more pinky toned, and Twig has a little bit of both of those, so it goes with so many different looks. It's like universally flattering. I think this is a nude that a lot of people can get away with, which is why it can go with a lot of our main character vibes, for sure. Our cool tone pinks need to make an appearance as well. This is by Catrice. It's their Power Plumping Gel Lipstick from the Flower and Herb edition. I don't think this is still available, but it's in Magnolia Bouquet. And look at how stunning she is. Very pretty, very cool tone pink. And I think this is giving, you know, romantic, sweet girl vibes. It definitely has that. It's that perfect cool undertone that just goes with so many really great neutral looks. And I think this is a very, very sweet color indeed. But I think the product that's definitely main character vibes is something like a lip oil. This is by Dior. This is the Lip Glow Lip Oil in the shade pink. And this is, you know, your fairy princess glossy but balmy and nourishing kind of lip product, which I think just goes with so many of our heroines that we see in a lot of stories. I mean, this can be everyone if they just like a bit of a glossy lip. And that's what it looks like. It's very sort of clean. You don't really see it showing up on the lips all that much. And the reason why I'm putting this one on nearly last is because I have one more product that I know is going to stain my lips. So I had to nourish my lips a little bit after putting on all the other shades. So that's why this guy, I think, is a great one for, you know, the unassuming heroine. The one that we think is, you know, very plain, but then she ends up being really pretty. We know that character, Dior Lip Oil. But I think the product that's going to give main character vibes mostly is something like a lip tint or a lip stain. This is the Mousse Candy Tint from The Same. This is a K-beauty brand. They do tons of different lip tints and I'm trying them all out for you because I'm going to be doing a video over on the other channel later in the month where I'm going to be swatching out 10 different ones. So this also looks like candy. I think it's very cute. And the fun thing about like these lip stains is that they leave very often a bit of a pink stain behind. So again, very unassuming with a bit of lip balm on top once the stain, like once the product has worn off and you just have the stain left, I think is very much main character vibes. And this smells sweet like candy. It smells like sugar as well. I'm not sure I love the scent. So I can't read the shade name on this one. I think it may be chai tea. I'm not entirely sure. It's got a bit of warmth, a bit of spice. It's got a bit of a reddish undertone. It's not too pink. I think it looks stunning with the rest of the look I've got going on for sure. It's giving me a bit of a MAC twig kind of vibe. It's got a very nice, creamy, easy to wear formula. And like I said, I think this is main character vibes as well because it is such an easy to wear product. It's going to last all day because as the product wears down, you still get a little bit of a stain and then you can put something like this on top. So this is again for that unassuming heroine that we think isn't going to do much, but then of course they are the savior of the day, which we see a lot in fantasy stories, I think. So a lip tint, K-beauty lip tints, I think are definitely main character vibes as well. So thank you so very much for joining me. I hope you had fun with me selecting a couple of lip products that I think give off main character heroine vibes. I would love to know what your picks are, so let me know in a comment down below. Let me know if you want to see more of this series. I can't really think of another theme. Because we've done villains and we've done heroes, so that's the opposite, the juxtaposition. But of course we do have more makeup categories, so maybe like blush shades? I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if there's any makeup categories that could fit the bill, but maybe you have ideas as well. So again, let me know. Thank you so very much for joining me. I come on here once a week to chat about books, fashion, and sometimes a little bit of makeup if those things overlap. And if whenever I travel, I put the vlogs on here as well. Sort of like my extra channel, you could say. But like I said already at the beginning, if you want more makeup-y content, then head over to the other channel for sure. So thank you so very much for joining me, and I hope to see you again next week. Bye-bye.